Hey all, Pixel in Probable Garage, and we're going to be working on the Oldsmobile. I've been waiting to put the doors back on because I wanted to paint the jambs and whatnot, but obviously that's not going to happen this winter. So I've decided at this point I'm going to put the two doors on so they're not in the way anymore, and then I'm going to get them aligned as well as I can so that I can make sure that I've got the edge of the fender repaired properly so it lines up with that door, and it'll mean I can start working on the edge of the quarter panel, wherever the heck that is, I know where I'm pointing, and make sure that that aligns with the doors. All right, I probably ended up editing down that time lapse just because it took us way longer than it should have, and you don't need to sit through all of it even at high speed. So they're back on. Right now they're both being held on by one bolt at the top and one bolt at the bottom for myriads of reasons. One of those reasons is I had completely forgotten this, but the bottom of this door is actually were held on by countersunk screws that I can't find anywhere. This is part of why I went and bought myself new hardware, because I couldn't find the rear hardware. But part of it was, I don't know what the hell. I don't know if they didn't survive or what, but I couldn't find any of them. Fortunately, I can jam this in here and it'll hold and it won't hit the body enough to screw the door up. So that'll do until I get the right hardware. When I do final assembly, this will get the right hardware, even though they're stupid hardware. Either that or I may, now that I'm thinking about it, I may drill these out slightly enough for a washer and bolt to fit in, because that's probably smarter, because countersunk screws are a stupid idea for something that needs as much torque as this does. But anyway, they're on. We tried to adjust them. And what I realized in both cases is that the latches are misaligned. Like, this door was always a problem this way. I always knew it was in too far, but I think it's always also been down too far and I haven't noticed. But either way, right now it's hitting the top of the latch. And once it's in the latch and latched, it's both visibly down and visibly in at the top. And neither of those I can change. Like, I can't get it up by any amount of adjusting the hinges because the latch is what pulls it to that position. In fact, it is correct until it connects with the latch. And then the latch is pulling it in too far, and this is wrong. And because my next project is to fix this and this, I need this door correctly aligned to the quarter so I can use it as a reference point for the pieces that I'm making for here. So that's a problem. It's overlapping slightly over here, which my partner pointed out there's actually damage to the metal there that indicates it may have been doing this before and I just never noticed. But it also seems too low. I feel like something happened and there's a reason, but I don't understand right now. But anyway, that latch needs to come up, because once the latch comes up, it should either completely fix this problem or fix it enough that I can come in and work this corner until it's better. The whole bottom of the door needs to get sucked in some, but like I said, I'm not going to worry about getting these doors aligned perfectly until I can move those latches. And then this that I completely had to rework is not bad at all. It's a little crunchy in terms of, like, it's not a smooth arc, but it's not wildly wrong, which was my fear. I was afraid that I'd gotten it, like, wildly off. This door, this is overlapping. And the only place I can get it to not overlap is to have the front of the door ahead of the rocker. And that's entirely possible that I put the rocker in wrong, because this is a replacement rocker and it was very poor in terms of fit and shape. So it's entirely possible that the rocker doesn't fit, I fit the rocker just a little bit too far back. But again, I'm not gonna try and get this door aligned until I get this latch right, because it has the exact same problem. The door is down too much and in too much, and there's nothing I can do about it in adjustment, because even if we get it so it's right, the minute you push it on the latch, it sucks it down and in. So I need to get those latches loosened, and the problem with that is the handle fell off. They're held on by big ass fucking screws. You can see I've already damaged one of these once trying to get them out, so I need to get a different tool to try and get these out. I suspect this is going to turn into an absolute cluster, but I have to get them out, and then what I will probably do is put a different style in here. I may put in a Torx or something that's not a freaking Phillips screw. I can't believe these are Phillips. But yeah, until I get these latches moved, I can't get the doors aligned. Until I get the doors aligned, I can't work on the quarter the way I want to. But the doors are back on the car, so that's something. They have to come back a minimum of at least one more time for paint, but I can do stuff with them while they're on the car and they're not in the way. And also the car looks a little bit more complete, which is good for my mental health. All right, second day of trying to get these doors to align. I got to get these screws out so that these can be moved. I already chewed them up the last time I tried to get them out, but now I'm using an impact screwdriver. This thing works by, you set it to either tighten or loosen. It takes a flathead or a Phillips screw bit. You put that in there and then you whack it real hard with a hammer, and the force of the impact both rotates the tip and keeps it in the screw so it doesn't cam out. So hopefully, I got a new one. This is my old one, but it's not working properly. I think it's gummed up inside or something, and a new one was $10, so just did that. But I'm going to try and I got one of them out with this, but I'm going to try and get the other two here, and then one's in the front. And then I'm going to order new screws from Fusick, which is a place in Connecticut that deals in only old Oldsmobile parts. I'll put a link to them in the description in case you have one of these and you don't know about them. They're really great. But yeah, we're going to try and get this one out. We're going to try and get the front one out. And then once I get those screws in, we'll attempt to remount these and adjust them. Hopefully this is where the adjustment is, because if these aren't adjustable, I don't know how you're supposed to adjust the doors, because the latch doesn't have any adjustment in it. But yeah, we're going to work on this. Hopefully this is going to be the quickest part of the video, but who knows, this may be the worst and longest part of the video. All right, I got the thing off. It was an absolute bastard in its own new and unique way. This, which is the cheap one from Harbor Freight, completely useless. Didn't do anything. Not even sure it's working correctly. Went back to my old one, but used the bits off the new one because the bits off of mine are all trashed. Managed to get them out. This one wasn't too bad. Once I got it moving, it was all right. This one, I couldn't get it moving with that hammer tool, but I think what I did was freed it up some, because I was able to use this mess, which is a giant screwdriver with a pair of vice grips clamped to it, to pop that one loose. And once it popped loose, it moved without too much trouble. The plate that they were attached to proceeded to immediately fall back and down, so it's not captured behind here in any way, which is just dumb. Fortunately, I have to go in from the side here to fix this anyway, but I genuinely don't know what you're supposed to have done if... Well, maybe we've got this back here? Maybe. Yeah, okay, that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to come in from back here. But, yeah. So that's off. I'm going to actually see if I can fish that plate out of there and clean it up a little bit. But all the screws, well, the two bottom screws anyway, are just rusted to hell once they're out of the plate. I don't know why they're so long. But I need to get that plate out of there. I think they're rotted something's throws crap up in there, I think. Possibly the wheel, but it doesn't make any sense because it's all... Oh, maybe because of the rot. Okay, yeah. Anyway. I mean, something else to check when I pull this off. But at least this, yes, this has adjustment. This is where the adjustment is. If those screws weren't so effed up by my last attempt, what I probably would have just done is loosened them all, shifted this up and over, and been done with it. But because they were so chewed to hell, I wasn't going to risk tightening them back down again. So yeah, I'm going to order new screws here. Now I'm going to work on the front one, try and get that one loose. Hopefully it goes a little bit better because it wasn't being subject to junk and crap being thrown up in there. After all the stress and hassle of the rear one, the front ones came loose unbelievably easily. So I've brought it up and out, and the door is now much closer up here. This back door needs to come up a little bit. If you look at it compared to the center piece, we're pretty darn close. And then this way, I think we're pretty good. It's in too high at the top, and I think the bottom's, but I think that might be because the bottom is being pushed out because it's still hitting the body here. So the whole door needs to kind of get rotated like this. The top needs to come out a little, the bottom needs to come in a little. And I think the front of the door, either the front of the door needs to come up or the whole door needs to come up, one or the other, because when it's... Oh, we have a new problem. When it's trying to latch, it's hitting very low down. So the latch is actually lifting the door at this point. But that's the door adjustment. That's not so much a latch adjustment. But now I have the ability to adjust it in both that and that. So that's good. I'm going to order the things for that door so we can continue on with that. Because this door should sit much more like this. This door also has a problem with the tops and a little too high in the bottoms. But again, it's hitting here. So I think that's this door needs to get tweaked. But now that the latch is not pulling it to one place, I can get the whole door sort of in a better place. Once I get these two to fit right, that'll let me do the bodywork on them correctly, because I can reference off of, the stuff around them. That'll let me replace this metal, referencing it to door to make sure I get the shape right. So, progress. Slow progress, but progress. This is going to be the end of this video for right now, just because I have to order those screws. But this is going to be just a lot of fiddling and fettling until I get these where I want them to. And I'll pick up the next video actually doing work on the metal and the whatnot on the doors and the quarter. So I'll talk to you all later. Bye.